Welcome to Jontina Fiera's Carpe Diem TV, where Jontina takes you to some of the most fascinating destinations and peoples from around the world, bringing Europe to the USA and the USA to Europe. In this program, Jontina takes you to the Chianti Classico region of Tuscany, where you will visit the oldest winery in all of Italy, the Baroni Ricasoli at the Castle of Broglio, a family name linked to some of the world's most elegant wines since 1141, dedicating themselves to the development of agriculture and some of the world's finest vineyards. In a personal visit and wine tasting with the Baron Francesco Ricasoli, the 32nd Baron of Broglio, you will experience the history and elegance of truly fine winemaking, and then enjoy a lovely indulgence of true Tuscan dining at the Baron's Osteria del Castello. Travelling through the heart of Tuscany on one's way to the Castle of Broglio, one travels through the area of Chianti, a historical area of winemaking first defined in 1716 by the Grand Duke of Tuscany, Cosimo III de' Medici. On your way you may travel through the villages or communes of Castellina, Radda and Gaioli, all of which first formed the heart and soul of Chianti, the region of Chianti Classico. Dotted with villages and castles throughout the countryside, the Tuscan region of Chianti Classico is a beautiful splendor that most certainly warms the heart of worldly travelers arriving to this destination. An area of approximately 100 square miles between the northern city of Florence and Siena to the south, containing more than 17,000 acres of vineyards. It is a rugged terrain with altitudes varying between 800 to 2,000 feet, giving small individual areas completely different climates from its neighbor, and thus a distinct individuality of wines produced from this area. Wine produced from this region and classified as a Chianti blend must meet certain requirements for it to be properly classified. For the past 15 years, a Chianti or Chianti Classico wine must contain between 75 to 100% of Sangiovese grape, up to 10% Canaioli, and up to 20% of any other approved red grape variety, such as Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot or Syrah. For Chianti Classico, the use of a white grape variety in its blend, such as Malvasia or Trebbiano, are no longer allowed. A true Chianti Classico is more stringently defined, requiring to be aged at least 7 months in oak, with a minimum alcohol content of 12%. The Baroni Ricasoli is the oldest winery in all of Italy, and as a family business, it has been stated to be the 4th longest living family company in the world. It was the Baron Bettino Ricasoli in the 1800s, known as the Iron Baron, who later came to be the Prime Minister of Italy, who as a researcher and wine entrepreneur was the promoter of one of the most famous wines in the world today, Chianti. It was in fact the Baron Bettino Ricasoli who, after 30 years of research and experiments, has been credited with delineating the original formula of Chianti. On the heels of Broglio receiving its first gold medal for its wine at the Paris Exposition in 1867, in his famous letter of 1872 to a professor at the University of Pisa, Bettino Ricasoli denoted that it was the Sangiovese grape that provided the essential characteristics for the Chianti blend, and that other grape varieties could not exceed 20%. Since the middle of the 1990s, Baroni Ricasoli has been involved in renewing and replanting all of its vineyards, a project which is now over 80% complete. The beautifully conditioned Broglio Castle dates back to the Middle Ages, first becoming a part of the Ricasoli family in 1141. Located on the border between the continuously feuding territories of Siena and Florence, the Castle of Broglio has been subjected to many attacks and destruction throughout numerous historical battles, including artillery attacks during World War II. The castle we see today is partly the new Gothic reconstruction ordered by Bettino Ricasoli in the 1800s. Inside the castle walls is the chapel of San Jacopo and the crypt which contains the family tombs. And you will also find a small museum housing the Ricasoli collection, a collection of displays of family weapons, documents and personal belongings of Bettino Ricasoli, so called the Iron Baron due to his strong resolve and conviction, one of the most important politicians in the 19th century that promoted the Italian Union. A resolve and conviction that continues to live today.
My family was already in Broglio since the 12th century, so there are documents stating that since 1141 the Ricasoli were already owning the castle. Ever since we have been living in Broglio, and for a long period was a military outpost because there were lots of fighting between Florence and Siena to control the territory. Broglio for a long time has been linked with Firenze. The wine was always made since the Middle Ages here in Chianti, so the recipe that made the region and the wine of the region so famous worldwide was made by my ancestor Bettino Ricasoli that lived in the 19th century. Bettino Ricasoli was a very important man, because he was twice Prime Minister when Italy was reunified and there was the Kingdom of Italy. But after, I would say, 20-25 years of experiment here in Broglio, testing different grape varieties, he made his statement and declaring that Sangiovese had to be the most important variety to make his own best Chianti. Sangiovese, of course, is a red grape variety. Ever since, Chianti became famous.
Broglio were the leaders in winemaking. Tell me something about that.
So yes, Broglio was the place where things were happening, both in viticulture and in winemaking. I think that today we still have to keep this role, this primacy, I think we say it in English,
right.
And therefore we have the best people, partnership with institutions, university and so on, with which we do experiment and researches. Some example. I would mention, for example, the clonal selection we are doing on the old vines of Sangiovese that were historically planted here in Broglio. So in order to detect and to understand and then to propagate the best biotypes. So this is an improvement that will be also available for the rest of the producers around Italy. It's not just for us. Something else we are doing, we are mapping, or I would say we did it already. We made, we call it in Italiano, zonazione. It's the study from a pedological, agrobiological point of view of each parcel of vineyard in order to understand from a chemical and physical point of view why we have certain kind of quality, we have certain kind of results. And you know, today we live in an environment of full information, total knowledge, and so the more we know, the better it is in order to produce better wines. We were talking about the recipe, but the recipe is just a very small component for the result of the quality of the wine. So the recipe in that case, historically speaking, is which grape variety were used. Today, to make a great wine, you need to make a great job in the vineyard. Winemaking, vinification, let's say the work in the cellar, it's very important, but it's important to do less mistakes as possible because the quality is made outside, is made in the vineyard. So if you have a great quality in the grape, you might do a great wine.
Absolutely.
If you have an average of a poor quality, you will never make a great wine, even if you have a fantastic vinification or winemaking.
What labels do you produce?
We produce several labels, I would say 7 or 8 more or less, although I would say the most important are 3 or 4, of course. We produce just one white wine, which I'm very proud, it's a pure Chardonnay, and then we have all the rest are red wines. We are in the heart of Chianti Classico, and this is maybe the most known label. This carries the name of the estate, Broglio, and we export this wine practically almost everywhere. And then we have Castello di Broglio. It's not to make confusion between Broglio and Castello di Broglio. Broglio is like, let's say, the second wine of the estate, and this is the Grand Cru, the wine that is made only the best vintages and so forth. By the way, this wine was recently appointed number 5 in the top 100 of the Wine Spectator, so we are very proud. Yes, exactly. Then we have Chianti. Chianti, that is another appellation. There is Chianti and Chianti Classico. It's like in Bordeaux you have the Medoc, that is the heart of Medoc.
Is this your family weapon? Or
yes, correct. This is the family crest.
Oh, the family crest, yeah.
That is now, we use it now. This is, you can see, is the family crest that was used by the Ricadoli from Broglio. There were different branches of the family that got reunified in mid-19th century through a marriage, and this is the family crest that we are currently using now.
I hear there was a legend about the Broglio Castle. Can you tell me something about that?
You really want to know it?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Is it scary?
No, but you know, it's something that there are visitors coming especially to meet the ghost. We are talking about the very famous Bettino Ricasoli. He had a very passionate life, traveling politician, crazy about making and trying to produce the best wine out of this estate and so on. And he had a lot of followers, but he had also a lot of enemies. So at the end, when he died, and there were the local peasants that were asserting that he was riding a white horse along the wall of the castle during night of full moon. And you want to go on?
Yes.
And
it's very interesting now.
And then he was running in the forest, and they were hearing all these noises. So even today, after more than 1 century, the local people, they don't want to even get close to the castle. So when I was born in the castle, inside of the castle, and I spent my youth there, especially in summertime. And sometimes we were hearing strange noises, chains, big chains, or doors opening and closing without nobody was there, or no wind, and so on. There is a presence, and thanks God there is a presence, because otherwise there was, nobody there. Instead, it's controlling. So I think he's still there to control what is happening.
Okay, we go and meet him then very soon.
Okay. Thank you, Leontina. Should we try some wine now?
Absolutely.
Should we go?
Well, yes.
Okay, thank you. This way. So, Leontina, here we are. I just choose 3 wines,
right.
Not all, just to give you an indication, style, differences, price positioning,
yes.
And probably also either the most distributed or the top.
Good.
This is Chianti, great wine made with Sangiovese. It's a wine, the vintage is 2009, so it's young. And this kind of wine has to be enjoyed in a quite relatively early stage, so not to salute, not to keep it in the cellar for a long time. It's lovely because it has this crispy, very spicy flavor.
Yeah.
Great wine for food. Not expensive. This is a great wine for every day. It retails less than $15 US.
Oh, US dollar.
Yeah, yeah. And I would say between 12 and 14.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, the Sangiovese, you see, has these tannins.
Yes.
That makes it a little bit more
It's not heavy
engaging.
also. It's
No,
not
no.
heavy.
It's pleasant. Again, it's a great wine for a dish of pasta, pizza,
Right.
these kind of things. Chianti, not Chianti Classico, huh? This is Chianti. Then we go to Brolio. We have been already talking about this label.
Yes.
This is 2008, and this is Chianti Classico.
Okay.
Okay? This is made here, and it's Sangiovese with an addition of a few other red grape varieties. Here we have a wine with a deeper intensity, definitely a wine for medium aging. Again, great wine for food.
You always have to do this, huh?
Yeah, this is to, in order to facilitate the aromas to come out from the glass. So
Right.
we call it oxygenation, in a sort of way. And
And it's good to leave it on the table. Like
yeah, otherwise if you do it in the air, you might lose it a little bit.
Okay, we'll try. This is very good.
More muscles.
More muscles.
More
yes.
muscles.
Deeper.
Deeper, but without being too excessive.
No, no.
Medium body, great wine. This cost a little bit more than the previous, the Chianti. This is Chianti del Barone, and in honor of Bettino Ricasoli, the one that invented the formula. No?
Yes.
Brolio, again, Sangiovese, I said it already, a little bit of Cabernet and a little bit of Merlot. Sangiovese is the great majority, is 80%.
Very good.
Lovely. This is a wine that I really love. Last, Castello di Brolio, 2005.
Yes.
The Grand Cru, the wine that is made only in the best vintages, powerful. You can forget this wine in the cellar and enjoy it with your friends or even alone in a decade or two from now.
And you see also the deep color,
Yeah,
the deep red
Look
color.
at it. Yeah.
It's more red than the other ones, you see?
Again,
Cheers.
nice to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Very classy wine, very elegant, longer after finish.
Good body.
Yeah. Good intensity, fine tannins, but very tight, you know. And
Right.
I find this wine that has a beautiful balance. At the end, you have this feeling of the wine that lasts for a long time after you have swallowed it. For me, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Which one you prefer? Although they are very different. I mean, you know, we shouldn't compare. We shouldn't compare.
No, I like them all because also the first two ones, they are a little bit lighter, but this is the most. This has the most body for me. But
This has a character and the style of Broglio.
Yeah, but I like them all. They are fantastic.
Thank you. Best wishes to you, and I hope to see you again here. Eh?
And now visit the Osteria del Castello and share with Giontina the experience and luxury of a truly Tuscan cuisine.
Salve, sono Franco San Giacomo, sono nato qui in Toscana e lavoro all'Osteria del Castello di Broglio della Barone di Casoli. Allora, qua in Toscana siamo molto fortunati, abbiamo tante materie prime a seconda della stagione. Adesso per esempio siamo in autunno, abbiamo i funghi porcini, abbiamo la cacciagione, il cinghiale, il fagiano e altre specialità, quindi siamo, diciamo, baciati dalla fortuna per la ristorazione, perché con tutte le materie prime che possiamo reperire siamo anche più facilitati. Qui da noi facciamo anche tutti i tipi di pasta fresca, tortelli, pisci, con i vari ragù o di funghi o di cacciagione, quindi quando verrete a trovarci vi faremo assaggiare sicuramente uno di questi piatti, specialmente se venite in autunno, il tempo della vendemmia, che qui a Broglio è un via vai di uva e di raccoglitori, e allora abbiamo anche l'uva fresca delle nostre vigne per fare la schiacciata con l'uva, che è un dolce tipico autunnale che usiamo noi in Toscana. Buongiorno Giantina.
Buongiorno Franco.
Come va? Abbiamo un tortino di funghi porcini con una crema di patate e del timo.
Grazie. Wonderful. Very good.
Prego. qui abbiamo dei tortelli di ricotta fatti in casa con una crema al basilico che è fatta molto semplicemente con dell'olio della nostra fattoria e del pecorino e del burro. Buon appetito. La ricotta è di pecora.
This is delicious, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Ecco, questo è il piccione che facciamo noi con una salsa al vin santo, sempre della nostra azienda, che è molto delicato e particolare. Per contrasto abbiamo aggiunto delle pere noi nella ricetta. Lo aggiungiamo al ferro del piccione, ci aggiungiamo queste pere che gli danno un po' di dolce insieme alla salsa al vin santo, e poi ci sono delle verdure di accompagnamento, sono le verdure di stagione, insomma, che abbiamo.
And this is typical recipe from this area, from Tuscany?
Yes.
Wow.
Piccione molto tipico in Toscana, e il vin santo che è il nostro vino dolce, abbiamo praticamente quasi solo questo in Toscana.
Wow.
In Chianti sicuramente solo questo.
Very good.
Adesso abbiamo un filetto di manzo ai funghi porcini, che adesso siamo all'inizio dell'autunno e qui da noi cominciano a trovare i primi funghi, e quindi abbiamo provato a fare questa ricetta con i funghi porcini, delle patate arrosto e altre verdure per accompagnare.
Okay.
Anche qui ci sta molto bene una goccia d'olio sopra al fungo e al filetto.
That's olive oil from this region?
Yes. Questo è l'olio della nostra azienda.
Wow, yeah. Very good.
In Toscana usiamo molto l'olio crudo sopra le nostre preparazioni.
Wonderful.
Bene, Giantina, adesso facciamo un brindisi. Cin cin.
Chin chin.